Are you ready to become a fantastic leader for your team and for everybody inside your business? If that's true, then this is the perfect episode for you to watch. I interview a top person in the country on leadership, and she's going to go into why blame is poisonous, how to become not just a manager, but an influencer of people, and why there's a big, huge difference. She's going to go through the laws of leadership, and ultimately, she's going to talk about who the most important person is to lead every single day of your life. So I hope you get great value out of this episode, and I'll see you on the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here on the Marketing Wizards Inner Circle. My name is Michael Bridgman, and we have an incredible guest today, someone who you are going to love tremendously. And it's not just because I tell you to and because I adore her, but her wisdom, her perspective, her ideas surrounding leadership, surrounding accessing your best self, surrounding helping business owners achieve greatness in themselves and then subsequently in their businesses. Her perspective on these things are profound. She's an incredible teacher. She's an absolute wealth of knowledge. She has been published in a number of different magazines, articles, including Authority Magazine. She was on the New York Times Square billboards as one of the upcoming people in the realm of leadership. I'm so excited to have her here as part of our show. Welcome to the Marketing Wizards Inner Circle, Beata Severin-Reed.
Thank you so much, Michael. I'm so honored to be here and talk to you again. And people, you listen to him because he is a wizard of wisdom.
Thank you. Okay, so Beata, we are going to dive into some of the real sort of laws of great entrepreneurial leadership today. We're going to talk about how that ultimately affects an entrepreneur's business, like how being a great leader can dramatically shift their results in not only just where they're going with their company, but just where they're going with their team, where they're going with all of those elements. We're going to talk about those things. But before we even get there, I'd love for you to give us just a couple highlights of the last, 12 months or so of your journey. So it's been a while since you and I had a chance to dive in. So what have been some of the big highlights in Beata's journey over the last year?
Well, I think you already kind of highlighted my big achievements, being published in Authority Magazine and Up Journey, and being on the billboard. It's, I think, the biggest achievements in my business-wise. Personal-wise, I still, invest in growing. I joined Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm going to his one long retreat. I think they call it intensives or something like that in Mexico in June. And it will be intense, but I'm all about growing, because if I grow, I can help others also to grow as a person, because every leader first needs to be great as a person before he or she becomes a leader. So yeah, I'm still in a leadership, and the thing that maybe can people get confused is like, oh shit, I don't have people that under me, so I'm not a leader. So I always tell them, all right, when you're waking up in the morning and you go brush your teeth and all this stuff, looking in a mirror, who's leading? Ask yourself, who's leading that person? Because if you are not, someone else is probably, and you're not living the life up to what you want to live. So we are all leaders. I want to remind everyone who is listening, we are all leaders. Leadership starts right here with me. If I know how to lead myself, then I can lead someone else. And parents, right? You are leading your kids every single day. What kind of leader at home are you? Or community leaders, like, come on, neighbors, be the example. So I just want to clarify, what is a leader? Like, where does it start? It's not the CEO with the title. Title is just a title. It's not that, we have many leaders that they have leader title, but they are not really leading. They are pushing, punishing, and I work with that kind of leaders in a quotation.
I hear you completely. Just because you're in a leadership position in a company, or just because that, like, I'm sure we all know those people that are leaders in a business. They're political leaders. They're leaders of something, and yet they are not good leaders whatsoever. They elicit none of the leadership qualities that we really would hold dear. You know, I love the fact that you point out really quickly here, Beata, that when I first get up in the morning, one of the first things that I do is I journal. And one of the reasons I do that is so that I give myself guidance every morning. You know, I have got books and books and books and books, probably somewhere along the line of 50 to 60 journals full of writing. Most of it's probably just gobbledygook garbage. Like it's just me putting both hands of my conscious mind onto my subconscious mind, right? It's like, it's okay. I'm going to hold the wheel today. And I think that step of leadership, when you guide yourself every single day, the compounding effect of that is tremendous. Can you speak to that, Beata? How day after day it starts to make a difference?
And I love that you said that the first thing that what you do in the morning is writing. All successful leaders, look at Tony Robbins, John Maxwell, or leaders I'm talking about self-development maybe area, but
Sure.
Simon Sinek, many, what is my gosh, of course, I forgot the names, but they are all, Oprah, oh my gosh, they are all journaling. They write their values, they write every single morning, they get up like you and they write. Because first of all, you set the day for yourself when you write. Kind of, you know, because when you're in leadership, and it can be at home or in a company, there's a lot of chaos, there is a lot of decision making. So how do you ground yourself? Writing can help you to ground. And one of my big practices with my clients is actually journaling. It's funny, but my first certification when I became a coach, it was coaching through journaling, frame of mind coaching. And it's in Canada, Toronto, when I got certified. So it helped me tremendously, and it's helping my clients because it's also where you drop your ideas, and then when you go back, you can reflect on it. Yes, journaling also helps you to release stress and all the I call it monkey brain stuff that is occupying your mind, and it's not necessary.
The value of that process in the morning, the value of leading yourself is that you're just a far better version, at least for me, you know, and Beata, your experiences for your coaches. When I don't journal in the morning, the consequences are that I tend to be more distracted. I tend to be shorter in my, not just attention span, but also my patience for other people, you know? And I just tend to drift. I tend to allow myself to just sort of drift into things that aren't necessarily serving the purpose that I wanted this day to achieve, right? I'm not setting really good fence posts for the day if I'm not journaling.
Right.
Now, we can talk about meditation. We can talk about a number of things that start a person being a great leader of themselves every day. To me, it's a matter of, this is the routine that I have found works really well for me. You've obviously discovered that journaling is powerful for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So then the next layer to that question is, if you're a better version of yourself, what have you found for your clients and in your own journey are the compound effects? Like after a year of doing this, after 2 years of doing it, after 5 years of doing it, what are some of the long-term real benefits to, predominantly a lot of business owners here that are watching this? What would be the big benefits of setting up themselves as great leaders of themselves?
Well, first of all, if you know better yourself, you know how to manage yourself and lead yourself, because first we have to manage our thoughts, emotions, and then actions. And if it's messed up, we usually find out procrastination and all this stuff, and finding and blaming others. If we have a team, blaming others for not achieving our results. So what else? Except for me and you, journaling, and many people, journaling is very awesome, but there are other tools, breathing, going to the gym. Some
Yeah.
successful leaders, they have to go to the
Go
gym
to the
very
gym.
early in the morning to get this adrenaline, out. And so they come to work or job, whatever you call it, and they don't have that need to launch out on someone. So they manage their stress, they manage their day by preparing their body and being excited for they're gonna do. So bring the positive energy, because leadership is about influencing people, not really about managing them. You can manage yourself, but not others. You can lead them, but first you have to manage yourself. And when you are able to do it, and what I'm going to, because my main message is peace is power. So I'm always about grounding yourself before you start your day, and it's different tools for different people's, meditation, journaling, going to the gym, or breathing, because I'm so big into breath work right now as well. And when you're grounded, you have this inner peace, and this is so powerful, because Michael, when you think about your life, when you were the most powerful, when you were like crazy, upset, angry, and yelling, even about, not even talking about your business, but even your kids, when you are pissed and your day went wrong, you come home, I don't see you that person. But if you had that day, when do your kids listen when you are screaming and yelling?
Yeah, no, they do not listen at all. I mean, they hear me, like they're receiving the information when I'm frustrated. Um, but it's not affecting them in a way that I would want them to be effective. It's not actually having the results I'm looking for. It's literally just blowing off all of this steam and them being the target, which is not a very
With kids usually goes it two ways. Like you are yelling and there go, if it's new for them, because you're not that kind of person, it's like, oh, something is wrong with our dad, I don't know. And they can get upset more because you triggered and unbalance what they are used to. On the other hand, they get scared and they back off, and still there is no results that you want. So the same with customers, and not customer, I mean kind of, your employees are your customers as well. So when you come to work and the first thing you do, you shut the door loudly, so when you close your office, so everyone knows that you are present, but you are not really. And you first, maybe you have a morning meeting with your team. My background is in hospitality. We had this morning meetings every single day to set up the day. But when my boss, because I don't call someone who is pissed all the time and is yelling and screaming, I don't call that people leaders. So when my boss came and purge on me his own unhappiness, how I am ready to serve my customers and my team. I'm pissed, I'm scared. I was like, I don't know what is going on. So there is all this unnecessary pressure, unnecessary bad energy, and it's just unhealthy. The toxic, it's how the toxic culture is starting to grow. So this is totally unnecessary. So ground yourself in the morning. Make sure to learn. I say it when I'm speaking on stages. Get to know yourself so deeply that nothing can trigger you. If you know your triggers, you know how to take care of it. So educate yourself about yourself all the time.
I think that's so incredibly powerful, Beata, that as entrepreneurs, I know myself, I have tended many times over the years of my journey to focus on the results, focus on the goal. Like I'm focused on the goal. This is what we're doing. And those are powerful. They're necessary. They're totally necessary. And you wind up, pushing things aside to focus on the objective that you want. But ironically, one of the key things that the journaling has always done for me, and whether I've listened to it all the time or ignored it sometimes, is help me understand me more effectively in the pursuit of that goal, right? Understand me more effectively in becoming a better version of myself. So the pursuit of the goal becomes easier, less
Absolutely.
effortful, right? And allows me to, guide the team more effectively.
Yeah.
Because as you just put it, right? When you're a shitty version of yourself, it's
Mhm.
likely that you're going to reflect a shitty version of other people. Like attracts like. So if you're just being a crappy version of you, and if you're watching this right now, I do not mean to throw you under the bus. I'm not doing that at all. But we have to take an objective, not subjective, an objective look at ourselves in the mirror and go, was I fantastic at being me today, or was I a schmuck?
Yes.
And be honest. You're just talking to you, and you can't get better, my friend, if you don't be honest with yourself.
If
So
you deny, right? If you deny the
yeah,
truth.
yeah.
And
So
so
if you're
many
pulling the
so-called
wool over your
people.
eyes, right, and just ignoring the signs that, oh man, I'm being a jackass. Like, I have spent the last 6 days being a total putz. I need to shift this. If you're not spending that moment through journaling, through meditation, through physical whatever it is that gives you the opportunity to reflect, then ultimately you can't be your best version. And so what people are mirroring back to you on your team and in your culture, it's not going to give you what their best either, right?
Yeah, and I want to add to what you just said, because there is this beautiful teaching that I received from one of my mentors, that people do not what you say them to do, but people do what they see. And if you are a schmuck, using your language, schmuck leader, they gonna be the same, because you know what I noticed? There is a leader, so-called leader, and maybe he's a schmuck, she's a schmuck. Then there is a supervisor or manager, and there is a team, and it goes down. Goes down. This whole attitude goes down, because if you trigger your manager, your supervisor, they think, oh, okay, he's a leader. Unconsciously, they believe, because they don't know. So probably it's how leaders behave to get results. I have a team, so I'm gonna treat my team that way, so we're gonna get results. And it doesn't work, because people get scared, people shut down. They are not gonna come to you to tell you what is the issue. And who really knows what is the issue? Yeah, the lowest level, because they work directly most of the time with customers.
Sure.
And hospitality is a huge experience for me. And when people were not coming to me and telling me what is going on right there, how we can improve. And your goals are not going to be achieved, because they don't care about your goals.
Right.
And
exactly.
what you want to do as a leader, you have to engage your mid-level management, supervisors, and the lower level, so regular people, which it's all upside down. I believe that should go from down up, not from the up down. These leadership teachings. First, who's supposed to get these leadership lessons are the people who have the direct contact with your customers. And then you gather the information about the issues, and it goes to the leader. And then you can really achieve the goals, tangible goals that are important for your clients and for your customers. Otherwise, you are guessing what is the issue. You are guessing what they really want, but you are too proud to go and talk to these small people, what they usually say. So the other lesson for me in leadership is get to know your people, these lower level employees that sometimes are very overlooked, and they know the most about your customers and or products that you try to deliver to the customers.
You know what's great about that, Beata, is so when I'm consulting for companies and we talk about sort of the hierarchy of their business, because that's one of the first things I always ask, right? Is a lot of entrepreneurs are overwhelmed, I find. So I'm like, okay, what is your business structure? What's your organizational chart look like? Like what's actually happening? And a lot of them don't have an organizational chart at all to start with. But then they've got, and then I've got all my people down here, my sales staff, my mechanics, my implementation team. And I'm like, no, hang on a second. They're not down there. They're your foundation.
Right.
They're the foundation of your company, my friend. If they go, the whole fucking thing falls over.
Absolutely.
Right? If your foundation leaves your house, down it goes. So to me, I've always been like, no. They're your foundation. And if you feel that way about your foundation, if you neglect your foundation, my friend, it's going to have some cracks. It's going to have some water damage. It's going to have mold and it's going to fall apart. And one day you'll wake up and your house is falling in on itself. Right?
Yes. So I had a leader one time that I still remember and never forgot him. So he was like the top of the hotel where I worked, but he was not too big for the small people. I was at that time probably a server or a supervisor. He was always coming to this restaurant where I worked, and he talked to every single person, and he knew your name. He knew that you he knew that I'm from Poland. It was so like, he's like, oh, how is family in Poland? And it's a huge place. So I was like, how he can remember this small person? That was so tangible for me, that he cares, that I would do anything for him. So I wanted to make him proud. I wanted to represent what his values to my customers. And he asked, so how is business going? So he really knew what is going on the bottom. Even he was on the toppest level CEO. So that was wonderful. Then the change came. He left and the next person came, and it was totally opposite. He had no clue who I am. He had no clue who is my team, who had no clue about when we had meetings, all he cared, it was freaking numbers. Nobody, these people that are serving, they don't freaking care how many beds you sold. They don't care how many, whatever. Your goal is to achieve that number of whatever. Everyone is yamming and like, oh my gosh, no. Then the next meeting, everyone is dragging. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Sure. Of course.
So nobody is focusing even on what you talk. Not mentioning that you never visit, you don't know who this team is about. So then the good mentors always was telling me, get to know people on their level. What does it mean? You go and have these casual conversations, who they are, what they care for. So because when you know what they care for, you know what motivates them and what their values are. Ask them about their family, their kids. Maybe they are slacking right now and you think, oh my gosh, the managers are complaining, this team is not working or bringing results, but they don't know that maybe there is some tragedy. Oh my gosh, help me to pronounce it.
Strategy
in the family. Yes. And if you don't know that stuff.
Oh, tragedy. You mean tragedy.
Tragedy. Yeah, in the family. And it's what I experienced. Like there was a very good employee, and out of nowhere, she was sucks. Like she didn't care anything. So my manager was like, okay, we're probably gonna get rid of her. And it's like, wait, let me like get conversation, what is going on. And she was getting through divorce. Her kid got very sick. The other shit was happening. So she couldn't really focus on work. And when we talk about that, and she felt that we care and said, okay, let's figure it out how we can support you. And we rearranged her schedule so she could support her kids. Oh my gosh, she was like, I love you. I'm gonna do whatever you ask me. And she got back to her best self.
Oh, you know what, Beata, I'm so glad you shared that story, because it is so critically important for big C-suite executives to understand, but also just the local stores. I mean, I own multiple companies, and one of them, which I'm in right now, you might hear the dogs barking, whatever. It's a local pet business. We do dog grooming, we do cat grooming, we have a doggy daycare, we have a big retail space. Like, it's a very local business. So I don't have 700 employees. I've got 18.
Wow.
But what's interesting is that I have employees go, like they'll go to somewhere, like I employ a lot of young people, so they'll go to school or whatever, and they'll be gone for 6 months or a year. And so many of them keep coming back. And it's not because I pay the most money.
Yeah.
And it's not because being a doggy daycare attendee is a glorious job. Like, it's not, you're picking up dog poop and it's not a glorious job. Being at the front desk of our business, as you have to have a lot of knowledge about raw food and nutrition and biology, but you're not rewarded in pay like a doctor would be or a veterinarian assistant. But people keep coming back. And I think one of the key reasons is what you just said. They feel at home here.
Yes. Yes.
They feel like me, but also my other management team, because, as you said, schmuck travels downhill, right? So yes. If I'm giving good schmuck, then they're going to give good schmuck as well. So, like, there's a reason that people keep coming back, keep going, you know what? I left for 6 months. I have to come back. I just don't feel like I belong anywhere else. And they may not work a full-time schedule or whatever, but they want to be a part of what we're doing. And here's the best part. They want to go where we're going.
Yes.
Right? They want to help fulfill the vision of the company. And I think a big part of that is because they realize that everyone around them gives a crap about them. We care. We listen. And yes, I only have 18 employees, but it's still 18 people, right? That you have to treat really, really well. And I think it's so critical that as a leader, you lead yourself, then you lead your team. And that's by connecting with them. You said before, leading yourself means getting to know yourself. So you know what your triggers are. You know what your motivators are. The same shit works for your people. Know what their triggers are. Know what their motivators are, right?
Absolutely.
And so, okay, so my next question for you, Beata, is take leadership to customers. You've hinted at this a few times now, because you and I think we've got some similar ideas about this, but how do you and subsequently your team start to lead your customers? Because I think you and I would agree, without your foundational pieces of your team being great leaders to your clients will probably start going somewhere else.
Absolutely. Well, in my case, I don't have directly a team, but I'm working with people that they have teams. And I used to have a team when I work in a hospitality. So first of all, they need to be clear on the vision that you have for your company, for your customers. Is it tangible product, non-tangible? It doesn't really matter. They need to know what is behind, what is the why, right? As Simon Sinek says, what is the why behind it and what it does. And I think this personal standards that you present to your employees, they're going to present them to your customers. And in hospitality where I work, you have this direct contact all the time. And people are unhappy very often because they're going through shit in life and they come and just lash it on you. What you going to do with it? Yeah, you cannot start yelling at them, even whatever you think in your mind, you cannot say it, but you can transform their experience right there. And so very important, what I notice in customer service is to really be very good at being able to read the need of your customer. So estimate the need. So I was so good in it that I didn't have to talk to them really. When they walking into the restaurant, I was very often able to read their mood right there where they were walking in the door. So I knew that if I put them in this corner, they won't be happy. This couple needs the window seating. Like I love it. Before they asked for anything, or they were looking around and it's like, okay, bathroom is that way. And it's like, how did you know? It's like, well, the body language, right? Yep. So it's funny, but it's true. So you read your customers' expectations, the needs before they even open their mouth. And how you can do it when you are really led by people who love to serve other people. Not everyone is meant to work in customer service. Not everyone.
For
If
sure.
you are an accountant and you don't like to talk to people, I had this type of clients. You are not gonna connect. You connect on the human level. Because what I learned, and it's for both, for the customers and for the employees. What people want the most, they want to feel seen, heard, and respected. These three things:
Seen, heard, respected. I love it.
and respected. So you see them when they are walking in, or when you are on the phone, like, Michael, oh my gosh, today customer service is really bad. You call, I was trained to be on the phone like I would be face to face with you. So I pick up the phone, I introduce myself or the company, and I say, how can I help you? Today, when I'm calling to the restaurants or whatever, it's like, yeah, what do you want?
Right.
I was like, oh my gosh, I already know. But how do they know if they were not trained? So you, as a manager, leader, you have to tell your people how you want them to operate with and serve to the customers. It's face to face or over the phone. It's
absolutely.
And
show them, right, Beata? And show them, right?
Absolutely.
Show them how.
Absolutely.
I know with my own teams, we always answer the phone here at the store, because I don't have a huge customer service team for my consulting business, but we always answer the phone with, like, thank you for calling us.
Yes.
Thank you for calling Just About Pets. Like, I'm automatically like, and if somebody answers the phone, like, Just About Pets, how can I help you? I'm like, no. Thank you for calling Just About Pets. Right.
Yeah.
And it shifts the conversation immediately for the client on the other side. So, like, oh, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Or I'm calling because, like, totally changes it when you start that way.
Absolutely.
But that's about having systems, and that's about having some of the structure, which is a whole different conversation.
But also, I don't know if you noticed that on the like the mindset level, the nervous system, when you pick up that phone and you are pissed about something, and you hear someone in this nice voice saying, thank you for calling, how can we assist you today, or how can I help you today? It's already lowered down their stress and anxiety that they have about who knows what. It might be not related to your business at all, but their private life. Yep. So we set the tone for our customers, how we want to be treated.
In other words, we lead them.
Absolutely.
Right? We lead, like we, as in serving our clients, it becomes our role to also lead them. Because I think a lot of the time too, Beata, and you would be experiencing this as a coach, you know more about what that client is probably going through than they do.
Absolutely.
Right? They're in the midst of a challenge. They're going through whatever it is they've hired you to help guide them through, and they're not sure how to get out, hence why they've hired you. So you can see the journey. You are the Yoda to their Skywalker. And so I think as leaders, one of the things we have to remember is that we lead ourselves, right, with our companies. That's the first thing. We obviously have to lead our teams, right? Absolutely. Be they internal staff, or be they customer service staff, or a management team, whatever your organization looks like. We have to lead our team. But then the third piece to this is that becoming great leaders allows us to more effectively lead our guests, our clients, and show them what we, guide them on their journey.
Absolutely. You just, package it nicely, because you're so good in packaging messages.
Right. But do you agree with me, Beata? Like, that's a very important element.
I agree with you. And it goes back to, I think, what you were starting also about communication. Yeah, it's all about communication. It starts on the top and goes to the bottom, but whoever is on the top needs to connect with the bottom, so you are aware what is really happening in your home.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so as we start to wrap things up here, my friend, this has been fantastic, by the way. I hope you've enjoyed our conversation, Beata, and I hope you people who are watching got huge value out of this. Isn't she amazing? Let's give her a round of applause, because Beata's just so
fantastic. Thank you so much. Yeah. I'm passionate about that, so yeah.
For sure. Well, we could tell, and you really know your stuff, so it's great. Okay, so Beata, what are some of, if you were to sort of just lay down some key laws of leadership, like what are some of the key elements that a great leader must exhibit in order for somebody to go, okay, if I want to practice leading myself, my team, and my clients leading my customers, what are some of the laws that I can practice right away? So what are some of the rules?
Well, I think the number one is that leadership is about influence, not authority. So when you want to influence your people, you need to walk your talk and show them the more peaceful and the way that you would like them to present your ideas, your values to your customers.
Love
So
that.
the second is communicate to impact, not to impress. I think it's very important, because very often, we like to, like, the when you, especially the new leaders, new managers, or when you get this title, you want to impress people with who you are and what accomplishments you have, and you talk about your education and your certifications and all this stuff.
All this posturing, right? All this posturing.
So don't talk to impress, talk to influence, impact, because when you talk to impact, you are really, what you talk about, we talk about, is you really are more about listening to your customers, your employees, what is going with them, and where they are, state of mind, their attitude, and what they need. So you impact them and encourage them to grow, to be better for themselves, so they are better for you and their customers.
Love that. Love that.
The third one, it would be walk your talk. We very often, I notice managers especially and new leaders are saying, do as I say, not as I do, because they don't do what they expect from their people to do, and it doesn't just work. So walk your talk. What you say also apply to yourself. It's the simple example. I had a leader in previous long time job, and it was silly, but it was about shoes, that everyone's supposed to have a black shoes, no white, and that's fine, it's hospitality, that's fine, it's black uniform, black shoes. And I had this very busy, I was a manager in this very busy outlet, and I had to borrow employee from different department, and his shoes were black and with white bottom. And I said, okay, we are so crazy busy, I need you. And you are, so this leader is walking and he sees this boy, and he doesn't know that this boy doesn't work for me every single day, right?
Okay.
But in my restaurant, so he comes and Beata, it's kind of, so I already knew that something is going on. Like, Beata, why this person is not following the rules? I said, well, first of all, he doesn't work here. I'm crazy busy and actually don't have even time for this conversation because we are really smashed. Yeah. And he's like, and okay, I said, okay, and next time I will ask him to have extra pair of shoes, so when he comes and help. Okay, the next day he is walking and he has this totally whatever bright shoes, and I was like, Mr. Whatever, I'm not gonna say the name. It's like, is this rule applied to everyone from bottom to up, like everyone wears black shoes? And he said yes. So I'm Polish, so I had my kind of attitude. I was like, okay, so your shoes, you need to go and change your shoes.
I love it.
So he was like, what? Like, how she could even say that? But then he's like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, you're right. So apply, if even the rule is the smallest, apply it to yourself too, because then they're gonna catch you and say, how can I trust in what she says if he's not really following his own or her own rules?
Yeah. So why would I respect this person if they play by a set of rules, right?
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So again.
Okay.
Just follow what you say.
Beata, this has been fantastic. I want to say thank you so much for being on here. It's so good. Okay, so number one, about influence, not authority. Beautiful. Number two, communicate to impact, not impress. Love that. And number three, walk your talk. In other words, be the person that you're asking everybody else to be and be the best version of it. so that they'll go, oh, wow, this, I would happily jump on board the train where this person's going because they're so fantastic, right? So I think those are valuable key laws. Now, just before we wrap things up completely, Beata, where can people find you? Where can people find you if they want to connect?
You can find me, of course, on social media, and it's LinkedIn, what is it, Instagram and Facebook. It's the three places where I am. Also, you can
You're not doing the TikTok yet, Beata? No TikTok?
Not yet, but yesterday I was listening to some people that said that I should be there. I don't know. It's too much maybe. But right now, just three places: Instagram, LinkedIn, number one, and Facebook. You can also just email me or find me or DM me, whatever.
Yep. And you'll find Beata, you've got a website set up, right, as well?
I do have a website. I'm moving to different website, but it's still on. It's beatalifecoaching.com, but I'm moving to Lead from Within.
Perfect.
Yes.
And we'll have that in the description below here, everybody, so you can check that out as well.
And if we can add my articles, if someone wants to read my articles, I can send the links as well.
Yeah, for sure. That would be fabulous. That would be fantastic. Happily do that. All right, my friends. Thank you so much to Beata. She is so freaking amazing and fantastic at what she does. So if you are looking for advice, guidance on how to become a better leader, this is a powerful resource for you. This lady's a powerhouse. So get in contact with her. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, Beata, for sharing your wisdom with our audience. It was fantastic. So as we wrap things up, my friends, I have been Michael Bridgman. She has been Beata Severin-Reed. You have been awesome. And this has been another episode of the Marketing Wizards Inner Circle. So go out there, my friends, enchant your audience, make magic happen, and I will see you on the next episode. Thanks for watching. Ciao for now.